Additionally, what? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just listening intently to your story.
My suitcase. My strategy is to just go with the flow.
Strategy.
So I hit him with the white person smile, and I went.
Hey, I'm Nicole.
That's Nicole.
And I'm Jake.
That's Jake.
Who's that?
And this is Talk
Nasty to Me.
So this whole time that we've been sitting in the tub, I thought that you were like slowly tapping my big toe like this, and I looked down at one point, and you're not even touching it. That's how bad. No, it's throbbing. Because I need to stop doing surgery on my toenails every single week. Like, I really need to stop.
They did surgery on a toenail.
I'm not joking. It's throbbing so bad. My heartbeat is in my toe so bad.
Which one?
This one. I really thought that
What did you do?
I was doing surgery.
So, like, what? You were taking out, like, a ingrown?
Not even. I just, like, redid my gel nails. Like, I just, like, redid them. But I got one of those nail files.
Like you should not. I don't think you should be doing your nails.
No, but
it's not good for you.
No, it's first of all, it's really not good
for me.
It's really not good for me because when I used to go get my nails done, it was an incentive for me to not bite my nails because I was like, I paid for these. I don't want to ruin them. When I do them myself, I'm like, oh, I have no respect for myself or for my work.
These dirty hands and these dirty nails.
Right,
who gives a fuck?
I will rip them off, and then I'm like, oh, why are my nails so thin? Why are they so flimsy? So toenails, it was just time, and I was like, okay, let's do this.
Let's carve it out.
Right.
Let's wake it up.
And so I got the fucking drill, and it is dangerous because you can like ruin your whole life with that drill. Don't let me near you with that drill. Just saying.
Drill.
Because
I don't think you should have drills.
Adam like had to like set boundaries with me early on in the relationship, like get the tweezers away from me and get the skin picking tools away from me.
Yeah.
And I respected that. Now the drill is so fun because there's only so many toes that I can work on. 20. There's so many nails 20 on my body that I can
20 nails in general. I thought you said toes. I was like,
no,
what is going on?
There's only 20 nails that I can possibly fuck up. But the whole night last night, first of all, I couldn't sleep because I'm reading a horror book right now, which I'm gonna save. That's gonna be my daytime book. I'm gonna have a daytime book and a nighttime book.
What book?
It's called Mother Thing. It's about a woman
and a mother thing. And a mother.
It's about a woman who's
thing.
Whatever.
Mother.
It's about a woman whose husband's mom. She we're like still like 1 minute into the episode, so I don't want to get demonetized.
Who wrote it?
She cancels herself out.
Damn.
Who wrote it? I don't remember.
Colleen Hoover?
No. But what's the other word that people are using online? Not unalive, but they're like something else. She deleted herself.
Sure. So she did Control-Alt-Delete.
She Control-Alt-Deleted. And so then this woman is getting haunted by her mother-in-law. And she also has mommy issues. So she talks about how anything can be like a mother thing. Like she talks about how like this couch that she had when she was a child like was her mother thing because she would just like love the scent of it and like love like touching it and stuff.
My mother thing is Daisy by Marc Jacobs.
Yes, exactly. And so she's like, you can give a
Your mother thing is tomato.
Honestly,
a tomato, like a literal tomato.
And like how you can give like a stuffed sock to a monkey and a monkey will be like mama. Like you can
or
basically,
like child.
Right.
It's like a child thing too. That's our pets.
Exactly. And so she really wanted for this mother-in-law to be a mother figure to her, and that idea like, you know, went away. But now basically she's like haunting. Anyway, it's like creepy because like I think her ghost lives on in the book or something like that. Anyway, I'm having nightmares all night. Truly, I wake up in the middle of the night.
About this book?
No, just in general. Like, I just wake up every single night. And either I have an easy time falling back asleep or I don't. And, of course, now I don't have an easy time falling back asleep.
Ow. I just recoiled away from her tail and I hit my head.
I read a bunch to, like, make myself fall asleep again. And I gave myself nightmares, and I can't sleep the entire night because I keep waking up because of nightmares or my toes are throbbing so bad. And last night I was like on FaceTime with Adam and I was like, oh, look at my pedicure, look how I did. And in the FaceTime camera I was like, oh, they look really bloody from the FaceTime camera. I was like, I swear.
And then you move your phone, you're like, oh no, they're bloody in real life too.
Like, I swear they're not like that. They are like that.
No.
They are like that. So
God, how deep did you go?
Deep. Do you want to go deeper?
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy. That was last night?
Yes.
Wow. I also couldn't sleep last night.
Yeah, for different reasons. Jake was actually the most insufferable person last night.
I was so funny. And you didn't even save. You
actually didn't even like, and it disgusts me, like, and I almost can't even say it. You didn't save my voice thing that I sent you, and it was so fucking funny.
I'm supposed to save things like that. I'm supposed to save your voice message.
It was so funny, Nicole. I literally was like, daily log number 3.
Is it gone?
It disappears.
I'll be the judge of that.
It disappears. What did I say? Okay, so listen. I think I go through this yearly thing where I'm like not convinced but paranoid like a little bit that I have bed bugs.
No, you go through time where you're paranoid. End of sentence.
Period. But
yeah, it is gone.
Last year, when we just moved in, I also like literally just maybe a week or 2 after we moved in, I was sure we had bed bugs. And then I was like talking to Adam and Brad about it, and they were like, well, they just like treated the whole place for bed bugs. And I was like, okay, but that wouldn't stop any. Like, I'm sorry, but that doesn't stop.
It doesn't help that like every AMC in New York does have a history of bed bugs.
Like, I'm telling you. Also, so here's my rationale. I say, Nicole, I'm afraid we might have bed bugs.
Okay, when you hear "I'm afraid we might," do you guys not read?
I wasn't saying it like I'm afraid we might have bed bugs. No, I was saying it like I'm afraid, and I'm scared about the fact that we might have bed bugs.
And in my head, I'm like, oh, I read that as like, oh, I fear I ate. Or like, oh, I'm afraid that I may have like killed someone. like,
I'm afraid we have bed bugs.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like a definitive statement when you say I am afraid, because that is how I speak. I would say, oh, I'm
sorry. And she's like texting me. She's like, why don't you ask, or why don't you tell Adam and Brad? Why don't you tell Adam and Brad? And I'm like, okay, imagine how sinister it is to be paranoid about something like having to do with like your bed. And like bugs crawling on you and biting you in your sleep. At 11 o'clock at night, if they came up to me and said, hey, I'm scared we might have a bed bug infestation in our home, I would be pissed. Because I'm not trying to prevent him from sleeping. Mm-hmm. That would be so mean, right? Mm-hmm. You would be so angry.
I would be so angry.
Right.
But
like if like tonight at 12 a.m. I texted you and I was like, hey, I did find a bed bug in your apartment. Like, you would be angry, right? I was like, oh, I think Tucker has fleas, and I think I brought them over.
But I would be like, what in my head I was thinking, what good is this for you texting me about it? Like,
and I'm just trying to be a historian about my experience. So I'm trying to like log it all. Like, I'm trying to be like, okay, picture number 1, exhibit 1, this weird bump on my arm that itches and has itched for the last day or 2. Okay, exhibit number 2, the scab from where I itched so hard.
You having scabs on your hands is nothing new, because Jake picks at his hands no,
that's because I scratched it so hard though that the skin came off. Exhibit number 3, exhibit number 4.
I was Jake's having one of his like paranoid moments once again. Like, that wasn't weird to me.
Nicole's like, it's MRSA. I was like, you know what? If you called me when we were in college and you were like, do I look pregnant or whatever, you'd be pissed at me if I was like, well, even a little bit.
No, because what you're supposed to do for people who are feeding into their compulsions and are looking for reassurance.
Girl, this isn't a compulsion. This is me genuinely being like, no, there are marks on my body. They might be bed bugs.
What I would want to happen to me is for somebody to snap me out of my ridiculousness.
It's not ridiculous in New York to like maybe have bed bugs. It's like very common, actually. Also, we just spent a lot of time in hotels. Okay?
That was a while ago.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that I did put a suitcase that on the bed that was next to mine.
Why did you do that?
On the bed that was next to mine, because they gave me a double. So I was like, okay, great. Like a table for my suitcase. My suitcase! So I put it on the bed. So I was like, oh no. That's like one of like, I guess that's like a big no-no. But yeah. There is a registry for hotels that you witness bed bugs at. And I checked, of course.
All of the hotels we were at?
No, just that one.
Okay.
The Hyatt, no. The
Whatever.
Hampton in Loyola.
You should remember what it was, because the man at that hotel
hit on me so hard.
So we're checking out.
And Nicole's like, he's such a nice man. And I'm like, okay, so everything he just did was like basically cruising.
No, he was so nice. He started telling us, because my name's Nicole.
Yes!
I feel like when people start
Hi,
like
Nicole.
when they're telling their animals like what their name is, like when they wake up their pets and they're like, my name is Nicole. No, when I'm checking out, I'm like, okay, checking out for Nicole Rafiee, and he's like, I had a horse, like named like Nicola.
No, he
something.
said, I remember this. He said, I just did a century ride.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's where the horse's age and the age of the person riding it combined to 100.
that's
what he was getting at. He was like,
cute.
so I'm 80 and that horse was 20 years old or something. And I was like, okay, dude.
That's so cute.
Anyway, he's
Yeah, he had like horse gauges in his ears and like a horse
lanyard.
Yeah.
He loved horses. He was a horse girl down.
No, he was. And then he's
down.
like, I have nothing for Jake. I have no connection to horses for Jake. And then he like starts asking Jake if he wants his points for like the hotel. Does not offer me my points.
I know he really didn't. Which makes me really concerned because I think that I paid for that hotel. I had to swipe my card there. And what they had said to me when I got there was that we don't have any more availability. They said something about this. The man at the front desk, we don't have any more availability of like single beds to me. And I was like, okay. And he's like, do you want a double?
Check your card.
Girl, I think I paid for that night at the
Check
hotel.
your card.
But isn't that insane? So that's why he asked me if I wanted my points. Because I think that I would get the points directly.
I don't think so. He went to the back and got the printer and then wrote on it his phone number, his personal phone number, and asked for him to leave him a review
And wrote XOXO on the paper.
and his name. And I was like,
He said, I get $15.
yeah, he's like, that's enough for an ice cream cone. I
I was like, okay,
why-
just one ice cream cone? I feel like you
I
could
was
get
like,
maybe like two at least.
why didn't I get my points? Why didn't I get his number?
Because
Why did
I
I not get an XOXO?
Genuinely think it's because I paid for that hotel by accident.
I think he was in love with you.
Yeah, that's probably also it.
I was really happy for Jake. I was like, oh, it's so
No,
nice.
that's not true. We left and she's like, what a nice man. And I was like, yeah, he creeped me the fuck out, girl.
No.
No, he didn't creep me out. I was just like, yes, he seemed like a nice man, but yes, everything he was doing was hitting on me.
Yeah. Oh my God. Isn't it nice? Isn't it flattering?
No, you would hate that if that was happening
I
to you.
do hate that. But
exactly.
you know what? It's much scarier when it happens to me.
This-
Because when it happens to you, it's...
Because when it happens to me, it's an old man who loves horses. It's not.
Yes, it's an old man who loves horses. It's not...
When it happens to you, it's an old man who loves boobies.
No, actually, I got in the elevator the other day. Like, I brought my friends to the building, and I was like, hold on, I'm going to run up to my room. I'm going to grab something, and I'll be back. I go into the thing. I'm stuck in the elevator with a guy who's doing an Uber Eats run. And he just, in the middle of the ride, just goes, she's so beautiful, isn't she?
To you?
She's so beautiful. He's on FaceTime and points his phone at me.
No.
In the elevator and goes, she's so beautiful, isn't she?
What did you say? Go.
I did not in that moment because I was like, I'm not saying thank you for something that's gonna creep me out. So I hit him with the white person smile and I went and I didn't know what else to do. Like I wasn't gonna be like
This
it just felt so creepy because he pointed his phone at me. He was on FaceTime.
Get that thing out of my face.
And so
Get that phone out of my face.
and then he was like lingering around when we got to his floor. He was lingering. He didn't want to get off on his floor, and he's like, "You have a beautiful night." And I was
He said that to you?
yes. And then the other day, I went to go buy roses for my grandma, and I'm waiting outside. I'm trying to buy. There's like there's like bodegas, and then on the outside sometimes they have like flower stands outside of it. I go inside. I'm like, is there anyone outside like who's selling the flowers? They're like, a guy should be out there. So I'm standing.
Well, he's not. So I'm taking them.
Right. So I'm like standing outside for a little while and I'm like, my grandma's waiting on me. She's going to be pretty pissed. And so I'm just like waiting, standing, and a man like walks towards me like with intention. And so I'm like,
Oh, I hate when that happens.
I'm like, this man has to work here selling the flowers, obviously, because he's making eye contact. He's walking directly towards me, with a motive. I said, hello. And he's like, somebody should be buying you flowers. You're so fucking pretty. And I was like, oh, thanks. He did not work there. He did not work there.
You said thanks?
I didn't know what to do in the moment.
I'm going to tell you what to do.
Oh
okay?
my God. Oh, so when I hit that's wrong. Oh,
No. That's close to the correct thing to do. This is what I do whenever somebody honks at me in traffic and then they like start and then they go around me. Okay. Or like they cut me off or I cut them off and then they like get really angry or whatever. This is what I do. Okay? I make a dumb face so that they don't recognize me. So I'll go like,
That's great. You're
the whole time that they're passing me until I'm sure that they can't
That's
see me anymore.
awesome.
Because I want them to be convinced that I look like that.
So you're in a car when that's happening. I am in
You
real
should
life.
do that.
I
You
am
should
in an enclosed space with a man, and I'm on the street alone with a man. I don't think that that's the best idea. Something tells me.
You should fart into your. You should go and cup it and throw it in his
if I
direction.
could do it on command, I totally
no,
would.
just make the sound.
No, I neither situation was I like scared. The first one I was trembling a little bit in the elevator because I was like, I really don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like this forced proximity.
You're on
trope.
some Instagram account right now. It's like Beauties of NYC or something. I'm being so serious.
That happened.
And like the video is exactly that. It is. She's so beautiful, isn't she?
G and I, we were eating, and a guy did the exact same thing. It happened to be like an Uber Eats driver, and he came and he was on FaceTime, and he just like it has his phone in Gianna's face, and is like, I don't either on FaceTime or recording her, and I literally was like, hey, don't
Hey,
do that to my girl, like turn it off. Turn off. I get very like defensive when it comes to Gianna.
You need to be defensive about yourself, babe.
It's really difficult.
You need to go. Please stop.
I in the moment it's easier to be docile.
Please stop.
Or what do men say about women that they're what do men say about women?
Submissive?
No, not submissive, but it's like basically like saying they're submissive. They're not
Demure.
No, not demure. It's when you're saying like, "Oh, that woman, she's pleasant." That's my least favorite
You're
thing.
pleasant?
That's my least favorite thing that men say about women, like, "Oh, she's pleasant."
You would have hated to be me in high school and middle school because I was a pleasure to have in class.
I was too, but it's different when it comes from a man and they're like, she's so pleasant. Why can't you just be pleasant? Like that's like what like alt-right men will say.
Alt-right.
Like they just want a pleasant woman. A woman who is pleasant. I feel like
think
there's
you're
another
pleasant?
one. I think I'm a pleasure to be around.
That's T.
I do.
You're not pleasant. You're a pleasure.
I think so.
You are.
Thank you so much.
You are. Back to my quick story about bed
Horseman?
bugs.
Oh.
Because I actually brought you some. I actually brought in a
Oh,
little
yay.
baggie.
Oh my
So I
God.
cleaned my entire room out today because last night I was flipping out. So I brought you back what I found.
Oh my god.
Do you see that?
Oh my god. Wait, give
That's
it to
what I
me.
found.
Give it to me.
I posted on Reddit, what bug is this?
And they told you?
No. But that's not a bed bug.
I literally asked Jake, I said, how many did you find?
Bed bugs like hatch.
That's not bed bug.
No, that's what I'm saying. Bed bugs hatch with like legs and stuff. So this is the larva
I don't
of
know
a
if
carpet
that's-
beetle.
Wow.
Is that cool? Did you like that? It's
I
like a little
did.
science thing. When I was in second grade, we went to this place called the Insectatorium in New Jersey, and they had a whole kitchen and bathroom in the middle of a thing that was set up with cockroaches. Like, isn't that cool?
They had something similar at the
I held
Da
one of the
Vinci Center.
hissing cockroaches.
Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about this.
I don't know why I'm like terrified of bugs, but when they asked me if I wanted, by the way, these are dead, so I'm not just like put like, and they're
didn't
in a plastic
suffocate
bag.
them.
I'm not like, yeah, I'm not like killing all of them off. I'm getting rid of the carpet so that they can sustain their life somewhere
And
else
thrive.
and thrive somewhere else
In the rug.
In the rug. They no, I'm like terrified of bugs, but then for some reason when it comes to like a chance for like attention, like I will hold the tarantula in
Yeah.
class. Like I wanted to do that. I wanted to hold like
Yeah.
the bugs and stuff.
That's how I was too. Like
I ate a mealworm at the insectatorium in second grade.
What did that taste like?
It was cheese flavored.
Ew. You know what? I really don't like it when I eat a raspberry and I'm like, I just ate a bug. You know that.
Don't say that.
You know
say that.
You know the taste.
No, we had these things called Betty's at Cards the other night, and Nicole's like, "Oh my god, guys, I just realized."
Well, because it's
Betty's.
called BERIS.
BARIS.
And I have been wanting the
Barris is really what it is.
I've been wanting the true fruit shit for the longest time. Every time I go to the grocery
True
store,
Fruit?
yes, where it's the chocolate covered raspberries or strawberries
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever, like they have white chocolate ones, like they look delicious, and every single person who can eat dairy is like, these are the best snacks I've ever had in my life.
Oh, I didn't realize this was so deep for you.
It was very deep.
Wow.
So when I went to the store and I found that they had a dark chocolate version in the brand Betty's, I was like, this is the best day of my life, and they're so yummy, and I probably will buy some tonight. And additionally, What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just listening intently to your story.
I'm just excited to eat them again tonight. I'm looking at the label and I'm like, oh my God, I understand what their logo is or like what their brand name is. It's Betty's.
I actually can't say that I'm a big fan of them because I actually don't like frozen chocolate very much.
Yeah, I'm not like the biggest fan, but I think that when the raspberries get a little mushy, I think it's a little nice.
I squished one in my fingers while we were at Cards, and I was like, oh my God, like I blood on my hands.
Yeah, so we go to Cards.
We do. Yeah, we're like card players. Nicole loses like 30% of them.
No, I was doing
and she always acts so shocked when it happens.
I know.
She's like, am I bad at this game?
It's because I'm not thinking...
You're having fun while you're there. I'm there to win.
I know.
I'm the only man there.
I'm having
and I'm
fun.
like, I have to fucking win.
I treat it as like a potluck. And I treat it as like, oh my God, mukbang time. Oh my God, binge eat time. Like, I'm so excited to binge eat with all my friends. Like, that's how I look at that time. And you guys just see it as like competitive time to tear each other down.
Me and one of our friends do, but then like the other 80% of the group, they're just there for the vibes.
I'm like, I do poorly, but like at the same time, because my strategy is to just go with the flow. My strategy is to just go with the flow of the game and to get rid of all my cards, and like, God forbid that a woman take a chance. Like, oh, let's prosecute the woman who took a
You're
leap
supposed to, at the end of the game, it's called idiot, so you're supposed to like to the person who has cards at
people
last,
think we're playing like
idiot.
People think we're playing poker and we're playing like literally like a very simple card game. That took me a very long time to understand.
The way we literally couldn't play poker
because my eyes would glaze over if you guys tried.
Yeah, we wouldn't have any idea what we were doing.
It was hard enough to get me to play idiot because my eyes kept glazing over every time somebody would try to explain the rules to me. I love it now whenever people send me memes of people, like, it's like my eyes will glaze over when you explain board game rules, or like I'd rather shove the Empire State Building up my ass than you explain card game rules to me. And I love it when people send me memes like that. It's really important to me.
I like when people explain things to me because I don't get it, but then my favorite thing to say is like, well, let's just play around. Let's just play around, and then like and I'll probably have it after that. And I do, because I'm a learner by doing. What about you?
Yeah, I'm a learner by doing.
Yeah, you're a learner by doing?
Yeah.
You're not like a visual learner?
I'd say I'm a learner by doing.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought that, yeah, I would say so. Ew.
I'm a learner. I'm a learner by doing. Wait,
oh my God.
What else were we, what else, I think,
Oh, I covered surgery on my toes. Oh, this is not me being like, what else do we have to talk about? It's just
what else
I hate that. I do hate that, like in podcasts when people are like, what else did we have to talk about? I do fucking
hate that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I in my head I'm like, oh, they are not prepared and they don't know how to flow a conversation naturally, like these sick fucks.
Like we do.
Yeah, no.
Flow a conversation naturally, we like literally cannot get through one story.
My grandma, when I saw her for her birthday the other day, the day that I was bringing her flowers, the day
when
that
she turned 46.
Yes, the day that the man said to me, somebody should be buying you flowers, and I didn't have the heart to tell him.
Someone should be buying me a gun. I'm just kidding.
I didn't have the heart to tell him that I'm buying buying flowers for my sick grandmother. But anyway,
you should have said that. You literally should have said that.
I'm buying flowers for my sick grandmother. You sick fuck. I saw somebody say that. It was a black person on TikTok. Like, I love it when white people say things like "you sick fuck."
There was one that I really liked.
With people.
I like white people will be getting their steps in. I really like that.
I did really like that though, because it's
white people get there at a good time. White people really got there at a good time.
But like, you sick fucks, because that's true. I do like saying that. like I really do. And then I try to think to myself, like, when's the last time I've heard one of my black friends say "you sick fucks"? And I don't think I ever have.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever have. So I saw my grandmother. My grandma was like, "You look so beautiful. You look so nice. Oh my God, like, you look great. Like, wow." Didn't complain about anything. Didn't complain about anything about the way I looked. Afterward, I went to your internet mom, Ashley's tour.
Oh, okay.
In New York, which was so fun to be a guest on. That was
What's that
so
called?
much fucking fun. The MILF tour.
Oh, word.
The Man I Love Films tour.
Yes.
And it is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's not Mother I'd like to.
That was Man I Love Films.
Oh,
But
there's my mind.
it
My
was
dirty mind.
It was so cute. Her audience is honestly like the best and like some of the nicest people ever.
Sweet. They didn't boo you off stage?
No,
like at our shows?
surprisingly not.
Wow.
But I like wore a skirt. I wanted to be cute, and I also like didn't want to get super hot on stage because sometimes like you can feel super hot up there and stuff. So like it was a nice warm day. I didn't wear tights with my skirt. So the next morning,
Everyone could see up your skirt.
no, I wore shorts.
Okay.
The next morning, I am just talking on the phone with my mom as I normally do, and my mom's like, "Grandma said that you dressed like a whore yesterday." Like,
Oh, she ate you up. Yes.
I was like,
No.
First of all, I've talked to you since yesterday. Why didn't you bring this up yesterday? Why didn't you tell me that Grandma thought I looked like a whore yesterday? Additionally, why didn't Grandma tell me? Grandma said that I looked very beautiful yesterday. Why didn't she say that I...
Yeah. You wish that she would have been like, oh.
Right. And my mom's like, she said that you didn't wear tights and that you looked like a whore. I was like, okay, great. So that is true. I did not wear tights. Thank you so much.
I don't think you looked like a whore. And if you did,
Then
that's
I did.
not a bad thing.
Right.
I think whores are beautiful.
Then I
Sorry.
did. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna tell my grandma when I see her this Sunday that she looks like a whore. Grandma, why aren't you wearing tights underneath your pants? You sick fuck. What the fuck, Bobcha?
Oh,
I know.
that's sweet.
But this morning I was in solid core, and I don't actually. There's been like problems on Reddit recently on the solid core Reddit because
Of course you're on the solid core Reddit. Of course you're on the solid core Reddit.
And also-
you actually, me and you, we can't be a part of something or know about something without being on the Reddit. Like, I don't think that that's possible. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, one thing about us, we're digging deeper. We're getting to the roots of the community.
I know. And also it was like on TikTok as well, and it was like a big drama that like some girl complained that she's like, I don't want men at like my solid core classes.
Oh.
And it's like, I mean,
And do you agree?
well,
Oh.
there's so many.
Wait, you put it on there?
No, I didn't put it on there. There's so many spaces for you guys. No, obviously, like men can be at solid core.
Yeah, they should be at something much more manly, like solid penis.
I don't give a fuck that men are there. I've never had an issue. I'm gonna be completely honest though. If there is a man, I am choosing to go in between the girlies.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like on the reform.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, to make them uncomfortable. I'm gonna go between the girlies. I don't actually have an
No,
issue.
I have to choose the people who don't look athletic at solid court to go in between, because then it makes me feel better no matter which direction I turn. Whenever you're next to somebody who like, and
Knows
it's
what
always a
they're
woman
doing.
because you're just good at it, and I'm like, damn, I suck
Well,
because they're really good
I like to think I'm pretty
and they're just
good.
in Lululemon.
I'm edging on my 90th class.
Wow.
And Adam says when he saw me, he's like, "You're a little rock star." I do really like, but there are people who are way more advanced than me.
What do you get it? Like your 100th?
I
Like,
said
they
to
suck
Adam,
you off?
I was like, "You get a little sign that says like I'm 100," and he's like, "Oh my god, and you get to take it home." And I was like, "Oh no,
no. You get to like pose maybe for a picture.
you get to pose for a picture."
Girl,
They're like, "Have you
yes.
100 classes?" They did not make
And it
me
doxes
one.
which location you go to too.
I did not get to do one for my 50th. I like showed up and I'm like, I'm gonna get my 50th, like a little like
When was
sign.
that? Last week? Damn, girl.
This is when I was still in Philly. I did not get a fucking sign, but anyway.
In Philly, you didn't get a sign?
Nope, not once.
That's fucked.
I know people get their 25th classes.
You just are Soul Cycle. They actually give a fuck about that. They really do.
I think this location. I think they will give me my flowers.
Yeah, I know the one that you need to go to get your flowers, girl.
Okay.
He will care.
But So my worst thing happened today was a very athletic man decided to get next to me today at Solid Core, which, like, worst nightmare. I was like, okay, you sick fuck. I was like, you sick fuck, what do you want from me? I'm just a little girl. What do you want?
Are they full, the classes?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you can't even be like, hey, could you move over?
Yeah. No, it was like one of the last spots open. And I knew it was going to be fucking serious with this man because he looked serious. He kept his hat on the entire time. He had like the glossiest lip gloss I've ever seen in my entire fucking... He was.
Oh, okay. Come on. Doesn't that make you feel like a little good? Like a little better?
I'll get to that.
Your class is being run by a gay man.
I'll get to that. So my instructor, all of my favorite... some of my favorite instructors have been gay men. I love it when they lead it. Don't love it when they're next to me.
Damn.
And like I'm fighting for my life against them. So the guy who's like leading it, he's like, is there anything we don't want to do today? Do we not want to do like chest or anything? Everyone's like awkward, not saying anything. And I was like,
because you never say anything when they ask that.
No. And so I said, yeah, let's not do chest because I just did chest yesterday. I was like, I don't feel like doing chest.
And this big rib man is like, oh.
Yes.
No way!
He goes, I want to do chest. And I was like, motherfucker, you sick fuck. I don't want to do chest. I don't want to do chest. And so, like, the instructor's like, oh no, like, the girls are fighting. Like, oh no, like, what are we going to do? He's like, we'll see. Like, we'll see if we're going to incorporate. Well, like, maybe it'll be like a cute, like, little mix. So, this man, the way that he is, like... You have to ride this carriage. If you guys have never been
know what a reformer is.
No, there's a lot of people who have not taken solid core.
No, but the reformers at all Pilates classes.
There's plenty of people who have not taken Pilates. It basically looks like the BDSM tables that they had in SpongeBob in that one episode.
I feel like Pilates had a big moment on TikTok, like in 2022.
All right, I didn't know what they looked like before, but basically on the
so what you showed up to a solid core class and you were like, what the fuck?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
On the BDSM tables, the middle one, it like slides over and you get to ride it from one side to the other and stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so the quickness that he is going at, the aggressiveness, the speed, the agility that he is doing everything with, the changing of the springs is so fucking fast. I'm like, slow down! You're stressing me the fuck out. You are stressing me out. Like, all the other girlies were so graceful and we're doing it slowly and very calmly. And he is like in a rush to get out of there. I don't know if his 50 minutes are faster than mine, but it seemed like it.
This is the second time this has happened to you. Where you've been next to somebody who was like...
Yes!
The whole time.
Yes! And he is just like killing it. Everything's too fucking easy for him. No wonder he wanted to be like, I want to do chest. I'm like, oh my God. So then the instructor goes, okay, we're going to do a little bit of chest. And then like... Did
you get up and leave?
No. I did do it. The exercise after, we're like, whatever, facing the instructor. And he looks at me. He's like, was that okay for you? Was that okay? Was chest okay? Was that all right? Like berating me. And I was like, I was okay. I was fine. He's like, yeah, it was a cute little moment. You survived. I was like, oh my God. Now this man next to me thinks I'm a pussy. My instructor thinks I'm a pussy. All of you guys think you sick fucks. I just didn't want to do that in this moment. Anyway, I left feeling terrible about myself because this man, the lightning speed of everything that he was doing it just pissed me off.
His 15 minutes. What do you mean? I thought it was an hour.
No, I said his 50.
50. Oh, I thought it was like his 15.
No, I said his 50 minutes. I don't know if his 50 minutes are faster than mine because the lightning speed at which he was going was just out of this world. Yeah, Jake's itchy because he does have...
No, I'm trying to really play it up for the podcast. I was hoping you wouldn't say anything so that people would leave comments like, okay,
wow,
Jake definitely has
really
bed bugs.
Fucking itchy.
Really fucking itchy. Damn it, Nicole.
I know.
You ruined it for me.
Sorry.
What the fuck?
There is something genuinely in the air.
I know. You know what happened? Mercury is in retrograde.
The allergies are bad.
Allergies are bad. Wait, something happened to you. You got canceled.
I did not get canceled.
Nicole got canceled and had a scandal.
I did not have a scandal.
I had to apologize.
There was very valid criticism on my Tracy Turnblad, Nikki Blonsky video. My mentality of it when I was talking to my friends about because that's usually what happens is I will talk with friends about this video idea. I'm like, oh my God, that would be a really good idea. Or friends will give me the idea to do a specific chronically online girl video and I'm like, that's a really fucking good idea. And then I'm like, oh my God, what would make it so funny if she gave her stamp of approval for this video. Yeah. If she literally was like, hi, I'm Nikki Blonsky and you're watching a chronically online girl video. I thought that would be hilarious because she is giving her okay on a video that is literally going to be talking about a heinous racist act that her and her family did. And I thought that thought process in my head, I just like stuck with it because that was like my first initial thought, not thinking much through it until I posted the video and people are like, why did you give money to a racist person?
Her, yeah.
And I'm like, that actually makes complete sense. And honestly, I don't have a valid answer. Like, my only answer is that I was like beeline straight thinking of what my mentality was in the first place and thinking like, wow, that's so funny and silly, like that she gave her approval on this video. I told her exactly who I was. I told her the intention of the video that I was doing. Like, because I was like, I'm not going to lie to her and say like, I have a book club called Chronically Online Girl. Can you say hello to us? Like, I was like, I'm making a YouTube video about you and your success and your storyline, or her like, or I think I might have said like her story or her time and fame or whatever till now. And I was honest with her and I put like my legal name down like when paying her and stuff. I did not want to lie so that she
like felt like backdoored or something.
Right, absolutely. I was not fucking canceled. And also there's like a bunch of people in my DMs who are like, people are too sensitive. It's like, no, I completely understand the criticism. I completely understand why people say that. So you know what? Like, that was completely on me and I shouldn't have done that and I won't do it again. But role model, but oh yeah, like role people model. Who were like, you're getting canceled. I'm like, that is not cancellation. That is like valid criticism. I don't know. Role models getting canceled for something. When I was in elementary school, I had a male teacher and he was like, every single spring, the women fight. Something is in the air. Girls fight. What a sick little fuck for saying that. In the fall and winter, men fight. And then when it gets spring and things start defrosting, the women start to fight. But he didn't call us women. Like, we were girls. Like, we were like 8-year-old girls. Like, but he shouldn't have been talking about us in the first place. Like, get out of women's business.
Why? Well, I feel like men fight literally all the time. No matter the weather.
I know. But also, this was the same teacher that literally said
when do the non-binaries fight?
You know, we're still studying that.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
This is the same teacher who, when I was in the 4th grade, when Obama got elected as president and people were celebrating, he's like, I don't see why we're celebrating. I just don't get it. Like, everyone's celebrating. He's a black man. Like, honestly, we should just like, I know. And he was like, literally, like, that's not something to celebrate. Like, he is just a person. He's just a human being. That's like celebrating that like Bush was a white man. Like, this man shut down a class full of like young black boys and girls and like, you guys should not be fucking excited for the first black president. And what a sick fuck. What a sick fuck.
Weirdo. That's weird behavior. Why?
And weird behavior to be like, the women fight in the spring.
Yeah. Wait, why is role model getting canceled? You still haven't answered my question.
I'm not fully sure. I haven't.
Oh, okay. So we need to wait to give an opinion. Okay, cool.
We have to dive into that deeper. No, but everyone is upset, obviously, with Emergency Intercom. Yeah,
I know.
I got scared for a second. I was like, "Fuck! I'm not wearing merch on my." I have like I have three like white T-shirts in rotation, and it's my Challenger shirt, my Emergency Intercom shirt, and like.
Well, not anymore.
Right. That. Yeah, I put that in the textile waste.
No. People have been very upset with them this week. Have you gotten DMs to talk about it?
Yes.
Oh.
Like, have you?
Nobody DMs me to talk about that shit. So, like, what the fuck?
Are you giving your statement? And I was like, so my only statement that I made today was, oh, today is Judgment Day for annoying bisexuals who love podcasts on Fridays.
Literally.
Because that's what it felt like today. Like, all day I was like, uh-oh, today's the day. Like, what the fuck is going to happen today? And then I was on FaceTime with Adam and I literally hung up on him. I said, sorry, got to go by. Emergency Intercom just put it.
Correct.
Yes. And I need to know what they're saying. So Jake and I are waiting. Waiting. We're watching at the same exact time from our own homes.
Nothing.
And we're both like, wait, so I don't think an apology is coming. No. Like, we're like at the 50-minute mark.
I made it to the end of the thing and I was like, oh wow, they really didn't talk about it whatsoever. No. But Nicole checked on Instagram. They did make like a statement, which I don't think is going over very well in their comments.
Really? I didn't check the comments.
They made a Notes app apology.
Yeah.
About it. You know what? They did say the word Palestine.
That's a first.
In it, so that's crazy.
The bar's in hell.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel... you know what? Okay, so I actually do want to take you through, like, my thought process with this whole thing, because,
we should explain a little bit what happened for the people who don't listen to Emergency Intercom.
And I think that it will work in explaining our thought process through it, because their last episode came out last Friday, and I mean, at the time you're watching this, it's 2 Fridays ago, and they said
they made a joke. They made a joke where they said that Greta Thunberg fell off. Like, where the fuck is Greta Thunberg? That she's in her flopper and that she fell off. I will be honest, in the moment while listening to it, I went, oh. Like, I did stop in my tracks and I was like, that was kind of a weird joke. Like, I didn't expect that, because the only other time that they mentioned Greta Thunberg, which, like, Jake and I will reference all the time, is when Greta Thunberg said, I should not be here. I should not be up here. I should be in school.
We talk about that all the time.
We do.
Because we thought it was, like, a funny bit that they did. And that's what that's kind of where I went. That's where I was coming from when I was, like, first hearing about the joke. I don't really keep up with the episodes like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like Sunday that I even saw anybody have an opinion about it, really. I
do keep up with the podcast, because I'm not going to be one of those people who, like, first of all, on the online, everybody who was, like, upset with them, like, rightfully so, upset with, like, what they said, they would go on to TikTok and be like, actually, they haven't been funny for the last, like, 120 episodes. Actually, they have pissed me off since this point. Like, I haven't listened. They haven't been funny.
It irks me to no end.
And that really was, like, frustrating, because out of nowhere, everybody suddenly had a dilemma who were just fans, like, literally, like, a second ago. I'm not going to sit here and pretend and be like, I didn't fuck with them ever. Like, I never fucking fucked with them. Like, me wearing Emergency Intercom merch and, like, being excited for every post.
Like, being, like, a genuine fan.
And talking about, like, literally, like, on tour, when people would ask us, like, oh, who do you guys, like, look up to in the podcast world? And I'm like...
Literally, 2 weeks ago, we were like, Emergency Intercom. Who's your dream podcast guest? Emergency Intercom.
I'm not going to sit here and be like... oh yeah, they've been pissing me off for like months on end. But I'm also not going to sit here and dick ride them just because.
That absolutely. That was one thing where we were like discussing it. We were like, we need to put aside like our fan. Also, like, you know, the idea that, like, I don't know, maybe one day we would like have been friends with them or something. We need to like put this aside, because like this is like, because the reason I am upset with them is not because of the joke.
I should also clarify that it wasn't just that. It was that Greta fell off. What is she doing? She's not doing anything. That she took a note out of Malala's book. And that she is no longer, like, that was her way of getting out of school, was this activism.
Yeah.
Like, they basically said that, like, what is she doing? She's not doing anything. And they said that Malala also flopped.
And you know
which is a crazy thing to say about 2 young activists who are doing more than any of us are doing.
Exactly. And I feel like when I heard it, I feel like I don't really take anything with like internet slang that seriously. You know what I mean? Where it's like when people are saying you flopped or fell off, I'm like, okay, like these are jokes. Was it funny? No. Like, not at all. Was I like personally offended by it? No. But then when I heard people's opinions on it, also it was really damning because of like what Greta is doing now.
Yeah.
It's like, because Greta is advocating for Palestine.
And that's why a lot of people were like, that's why you don't see coverage about her anymore, because literally liberal news will not show her anymore, because she is not just fighting for climate change at this point. It's literally talking about Palestine, which many like liberal sources are not talking about. First of all, like conservative news sources are not gonna, they fucking shit on Greta Thunberg when she was like literally like 14 years old, and they're like, fuck this bitch, like literally refer to her as like a young annoying teenager and like made fun of her for having autism and stuff. And so like she's basically not liked by any, or is not favored by any I guess like mainstream media right now. And she's being basically like blacklisted because she is doing work for Palestine.
Well, and I think that's kind of where the rub is of like the controversy, which is that like it's ironic how they would bring that up. Like, not even ironic in the regular sense, like literal dramatic irony, like where the main character does not know what is happening to them, and we're like watching it as like the viewer knowing exactly what's happening. It's like they're talking about Greta saying she fell off. Okay, what did she fall off of? Advocacy, maybe advocacy for Palestine. Okay, well, Drew and Enya never got on. You know what I mean? So it's like you're looking at the difference between how Drew and Enya use their platform and how someone like Greta or Malala uses theirs. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that's really where the controversy is for me. Like, the joke itself, I didn't think was that deep. And maybe, like, I don't know if that makes people upset, but I really think it's like, oh, the bigger picture of, like, fuck. They still haven't talked about Palestine. They kind of have at this point. They said the word and acknowledged.
Yeah, but that's not doing it. That's not doing enough.
Right.
And at this point, it's been a year and a half since it's been more than a year and a half that basically Palestine has had a genocide on them, but it's been a year and a half since, like, the really horrible attacks have happened in Gaza.
Exactly.
And so I think the only thing that I've seen them post, unfortunately, is Enya posting. And I say these things as a person who is a fan of their, like, entertainment and comedy and content, but that is the thing. I think it's important. Like, you can criticize people who are your favorites because you want them to do better and you want them to actually do the right thing. Because it has been disappointing the last year and a half that they have not done anything. Because if anything, they do seem like the people who would do something, at least from what they used to stand for and the type of people that they used to be. And I think that that's the frustration that a lot of people had with it. So, like, that's why, like, when people are like, Nicole, I love your videos, but I really don't like that you bought a cameo from Nikki Blonsky. I don't take that as hate. I take that as valid criticism. These people want to see me. They said that they like my videos. They want to see me continue doing these videos, but they see, like, my negligence and they see
a mistake
that I had made, and something that I should acknowledge and apologize for. For that, I'm very genuinely thankful. Like, I actually do see a great benefit in that. And that is how I feel towards Enya and Drew. It's just also difficult because it's like,
how long has this mistake been going on for them? You know, it's been literally like almost a year since people have been asking people really to talk about this and asking influencers to step up and say something.
It's been, and the difficult thing is that I've said it before, like, on this podcast, but I used to be one of the outreach people for Creators for Palestine who would ask other creators, specifically, like, DMing other influencers, being like, hello, would you please maybe hop on board and talk about Creators for Palestine? Like, Jeff Wittick was, like, a person who hopped on board on that. There's plenty other people who were able to join Creators for Palestine because of Nikki Carrion and I just, like, literally asking. Drew and Enya were asked. No,
and that's not just Drew and Enya. There's, like, tons of influencers. If you can name someone, they have been reached
contacted.
out to.
That is the thing. If you can name an influencer, I have probably reached out to them because I have been left disappointed as a fan myself of, like, plenty creators when we were trying to put on the live show. Like, additionally, after that, when we were trying to put on another live show in January of this year, but that had to get canceled because of the fires in LA. And so we were really, really pushing, and there were plenty of massive creators who got back to me with a very valid reason why they could not be in attendance in person. They were, like, either on tour, like, literally out of continent on tour, but they were like, ask me how I can promote it, support it in any way, and they were fully for it. Us having a diverse group of different influencers and different content creators was so important for us. And the work was, like, is not even that hard for someone to just be a part of it, to promote it. You could have just said yes. You could have shared the infographics. You could have shared the link to help donate. You could have put it in your bio. You could have literally, you didn't have to be in attendance at the live show. It just helped so much that people were putting their links. Like, I was watching the number go up on Tiltify so much just whenever we would have a push time. Like, we would be like, all right, at 4 p.m. today, we're going to post the link. And we would just watch it, like, skyrocket. And, like, huge YouTubers, massive fucking YouTubers, like, opening their own fucking purses and donating themselves. At the end of the day, it does upset people greatly when it's like, they said we didn't know how to address this. It's like, but we gave you an opportunity.
You know what? And, like, you want to give people, like, the benefit of the doubt, right? Like, okay, maybe they didn't see my DM. Okay, but what about, like, all the other ones? What about the people that they do follow? They do see those DMs. Maybe they... I don't know. I don't know what people's reasonings are for not wanting to be pro-Palestine unless you just disagree with Palestine as, like, an idea and, like, as a literal place. Like, you know what I mean?
But if you do agree with the whole ideology of, like, freedom for Palestinian people, freedom for Palestine, like, then the only thing I can think of that could prohibit people from wanting to post about it or be vocal about it or wanting to raise money for Palestinians, my only idea is like fear of loss of brand deals. Because
right, and I said this before, like I mean, you have lost brand deals for being pro-Palestine.
Yeah, and
like it's for every like Zionist, company, there is a company that is pro-Palestine who will sponsor you.
And I don't want to, and I was completely fine when I was let go of like whatever contracts. I was completely fine with it because I was like, that's not a brand that I want to work with then, if that's what their stance is. Like if they saw my post and then they want to blame it on me smoking cigarettes in my Lana Del Rey like cosplay, because that's what they gave the first reasoning as, and then the second reasoning were like, also we really don't fuck with the fact that she supports Palestine. Then that's not somebody I want to support. And also like what a crazy coward thing to say that it was because of me smoking fake cigarettes in my Lana Del Rey costume. But anyway, point being is that the reason that it's so disappointing is because it seems like there are people there are influencers who are not
silent.
Right, but there are influencers who are like, well, I'm not political. There's plenty of influencers who have never spoken about politics but are suddenly speaking about Palestine because it's not about politics, it's about literally ethics.
And I don't want to hear it that like you have like a lighthearted community or whatever, or like you're trying to make something that's like escapism or some shit. Girl, so are we.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're still sitting here.
Yeah.
Like, and we can talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, like this isn't a political podcast whatsoever, but we take the time. No one is asking anyone to completely like only ever talk about the issues.
There still is time.
There is, right?
There's no, it's not the, and if you were to join right now, like I remember when, for example, like Haley Bailey
was what you were going to talk about.
Well, when Haley Bailey was getting a lot of criticism about her Let Them Eat Cake video.
Yes.
Let them eat cake.
She's like, I want in.
Right. And my opinions were like, if an influencer suddenly wants in and wants to talk about Palestine, and they have literally, I think she has over, it's either 1 million or 10 million. I know that's very vastly different, but I know there's a 1 in there.
Okay.
She has a lot of fucking followers.
Yeah.
She has a crazy amount of followers. And it's also an audience who I know I'm not really tapping into. I know my audience isn't really Haley Bailey fans. I know I have a similar audience to, like, for example, like a Curtis Connor.
Or Nikki Carry On.
Or like, Nikki Carry On. Like, I know that our audiences overlap with one another. However, it is nice to get somebody from the outside of your niche and what you're doing to be able to speak about it. And
correct,
so when Haley Bailey,
it's like you just reach more people that way.
And when she was given the resources and still didn't say anything, it's like, fuck, you were so close. But there still is time. And honestly, if Haley Bailey today, like, literally wanted to post right this second and was like, I'm going to post about a link supporting, funds for Palestine.
Yeah.
I'm going to post a link trying to educate people on what is happening in Palestine. I would not sit here and be like, it's too fucking late. Where were you for the last year and a half? I would just be so happy that she's finally doing it now, because that is ultimately what matters. But I would genuinely, as a person who was in Courage for Palestine, I'd be so happy about that. It is not too late. There's people who can still join if you change your mind about things. If you maybe were once anti-Palestine and you have changed your mind, it's not too late. Like, you can still, that's my mentality on it. I know that other people are genuinely going to have different mentalities on it, but I am not a person who is to close people out from wanting to better themselves and their ideologies and wanting better for people, even if that means that their past ideologies were extremely harmful and
incorrect.
Yes, and incorrect.
Yeah.
However, it's not too late. This is such a dire situation. It's not something that is looming or coming soon, and something, it is imminent. It's happening now. The genocide is happening now, and people need help right in this moment. It didn't matter that there was a ceasefire. Didn't fucking matter, because people ended up being killed the very same day. It continued, it's continuing, it's going to continue. There's plenty of people, literally the Prime Minister of Canada being I am a proud Zionist. Justin Trudeau.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And that is not changing, and it's not going to change for the people of Palestine. And so at this point, it is not even, correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if this is like a bad stance, but like if somebody, I don't even give a fuck at this point if it's for somebody's like ulterior motives. If you are capable of getting us to of spreading the word at this point, I don't think that you're. Obviously, I wish that people would just have the positive intention behind it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, simultaneously, it's so imminent that it's like, the more the better. Like even
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Rachel Ziegler, even people were like, well, what the fuck what did she do just by saying Free Palestine at the end of her Snow White post? And it's like a lot, because look at everyone talking about it now.
Yes,
look at all of the everything that's happening. Additionally, like her, because Rachel Ziegler, if you guys didn't know, was he the creator, like the producer for Snow White?
Ben Platt's dad?
Yeah.
I think he was, yeah.
Okay, so he's
a big, like, I think he produces a lot of things for Disney.
Yeah, well, he did for Wicked.
Wicked and the Dear Evan Hansen movie.
Yeah.
That his son was in.
So when she started getting attacked by Mr. Platt, I fucking forgot his first name, but by the other son, Ben Platt's brother. What is his name? Jonah. When he started getting... When she started getting attacked and being like, my father had to come and berate her because she was making it all about her and she's a narcissist. Look how many people stood behind Rachel Ziegler and look how many people stood behind Palestine and reopened the conversation.
Yeah, and she's up against one of the biggest companies in the entire world,
right.
Disney.
Right. I'm not wishing hate upon them, not wishing ill will. Like, I love their podcast. I love their humor. I think
they're funny people. Yeah.
We quote them all the fucking time.
We do.
Like, it is no fucking secret. And... simultaneously, I want to see them continue be a good podcast and continue to be the people that I knew they once were or believe them to be, because I don't know them personally. But like, that was very parasocial of me. But like, you know what I fucking mean. A lot of people were like, wow, they've, changed, because they used to seem like the most common comment that they get is like that they have become the people that they used to make fun of and stuff.
I just feel like welcome to the internet.
Right, of course.
Like, that's just what happens. No. It happens with Emma Chamberlain.
No, of course. But I'm saying, like, for them to suddenly, like, their allyship with these groups, like, suddenly it just is dissipating the larger that they get. That is disappointing. And so to be able to see them come back to themselves, hopefully, or, like, I don't know. That would be great. I don't want to see people become shallow. I don't want to see people become heartless. I don't want to see people lack empathy. I want that podcast to continue. I want them to be good. I want them to be happy. But also simultaneously, like, you have way more power and influence than you can even begin to imagine. They're such a bigger podcast than us. Like
100, or literally like 2 million followers between the two of them.
They have
just on
an
Instagram.
Insane amount of like it is. You multiply our viewership by however many.
Yeah,
they're a huge podcast, and they would have a significant effect and an impact. And so it's not too late. It's not too late to do anything, and we want to continue to do things with Careers for Palestine, but we also need people to have interest. So, like, any influencers who are honestly, like, listening to this and, like, are like, I want to be a part of it. I have never been a part of it. I've never spoken up about Palestine. Like, we want you to be a part of it. It's not too fucking late.
Get in the Discord.
Literally, like, like, message me. We'll get you in the fucking Discord.
Yeah.
We will do things, like, it
is not too late.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
It will only be too late when it is too late.
No, literally.
For the people of Palestine.
No, literally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I was feeling Clemmie's teeth with my fingers, making sure she has all of them still.
Good. Does she?
Yeah. There's this one cat, Gumbus, on TikTok.
And how many teeth? How many teeth does it have?
0.
Oh.
Not to like totally. That was a total change of subject.
Total 180.
But Gumbus has no teeth. Can you insert a video of Gumbus?
I love doing this.
Yeah. Because now you actually have to do it.
Because watch, nothing's going to be there. I'm watching Very Delta. Everybody needs to know who Delta Work is. She's season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, but she was talking about how when she gets in an Uber, like, she doesn't want to talk to the people, but she feels rude or whatever. And I'm not kidding. I sent you the podcast episode. She went on the longest, like, fake interaction of rambling off sentences. Anyway, she did a Diet Coke trying, like where she blind taste tested Diet Cokes, and she got all of them correct, like from various places, like McDonald's, just Diet Cokes. I'm going to do that with ginger ale.
Okay. I don't see why not.
What do you think you could do that with?
I want to say root beer, but I don't believe I can.
Do you think you've had every root beer?
I've had a lot.
Oh.
I don't. Ooh, what could I do that with?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
What do I drink?
So I did pose this question. It's
Maybe
such an Adam
kombucha.
question.
Maybe kombucha flavors. Because that's kind of
Really?
Because that's kind of hard. Because they all start to taste the same.
What about the same? Well, it needs to be even more challenging than that, though. It needs to be like, okay, the mango flavor of like 6 different brands, and you guess the brand.
I don't think I could do that.
Could you do it with water? Do you remember when people were doing that?
Yeah, water taste test when YouTube was a simpler
They were like,
time.
Arrowhead. I remember Tyler Oakley so vividly.
I don't think I could do that. Can I do that with anything? Is there anything that I really like fuck with like that?
Almond milk pudding.
There's like only like 2 types. It's like store brand and not store
You
brand.
don't think a single soda?
Like root beer.
Really?
Maybe.
Even, what about like matcha brand? No, I feel like,
No.
I had hojicha today. It was so good.
I don't think I could do that with matcha. Just because like when I'm drinking, I don't drink like a different matcha every day. If I was somebody like Ashley Alexander, who's testing matcha all fucking day long and like for her matcha brand, yes, I feel like then yes, I think she should be someone who does that if she has not done that already.
She's your mom Ash.
No. So there's your mom Ashley and there's your internet mom Ash.
Okay, so you went to your internet mom Ash's show.
Yes. But I'm also friends with your mom Ashley.
Your mom Ashley.
Yes.
Okay, cool. What's your Polish word of the day?
Oh my.
What else?
Oh my
Come on,
god.
What else?
My god.
I don't have that much time. What else?
Pranie.
My washing is done. I gotta go.
Pranie.
Prania.
Pranie.
Prania.
Jake robi jego pranie.
Jake robi jego pranie.
That was really good. Yeah.
you.
That was good.
Robi? Mm-hmm. I think that's put on or like take. Is that take off? Mm-mm. What is that? Wear? Robi?
Working.
Jake's working.
Or doing.
Jake's doing. What was the next word?
Jego.
Jego. Waffle. Waffle pranie. Prania.
Pranie.
Prania. I don't know. Prania. Ja jestem prania.
Means you're doing your laundry.
Oh!
Pranie means your laundry.
I know.
And that was very-
I know you heard that growing up.
That what? Laundry? Pranie?
Robi pranie.
Doing laundry?
No, like do your laundry.
Oh. No,
Nicole.
When I literally was like pranie and then you were like my laundry's done, I was like, that's really ironic that you say that.
I am laundry is what I said. My favorite Polish word of the day was I can't even remember.
Yeah, you don't even know
No, but
it.
I just remember going, stop. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. I do
Forgot what the
briefly
word
remember
was.
that. I do
Maybe
like
it was shishu,
maybe.
and I was like, yeah, pia shishu.
I do like on the podcast subreddit when people are like, what episode is this from? And you guys somehow always know. Like somebody's like, what's the podcast episode where Nicole had like a slight itch on her temple and then was able to
And use her foot to scratch it.
yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't know. But like everybody always knows it. I just have one quick reading before we go.
A reading. And now for a reading.
That feels like in church. That's what we would say.
And now for a reading. Can you ASMR it?
Yeah.
I think this is yours.
Hello.
Wait. No, wait. Okay, go ahead.
The Great Depression had Shirley Temple to raise America's spirits and reassure everyone that brighter days were ahead. And we have that too. We have the Rizzler. And then somebody responded and said, animal crackers and 5 big booms.
I thought you said 5 big boobs with a B at the end, not boom. So I was like, what the fuck is the Rizzler doing? What the fuck is the Rizzler up to?
Papa.
Bye. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. See you later.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
See ya. Ciao. I don't know. What they say.
See you later. Bye. See you. Bye. Bye. Later.